Day 32 is a continuation of the grief and greed which we studied 2 days back. It goes like this. Mare ye katyajha dhuja shokavahe akasmatato hi pude jata ahe Purena jani lobare shobhatyate manoni jani maguta janmagete. So here, very wonderful again he knits and continues to speak about the craziness of one's reborn, which goes in vain because of unfulfilled greed or desire. The first line says very emphatically, Mare ye katyacha dhuja shokavahe. He says, Mare, a person dies, isn't it? And when a person dies, the others, they mourn. Why? Because they are unable to express their love towards him in a tangible physical form. Grief is also one of the dimensions of love itself, which is unable to express. Next it says, Akasmat tohi pude jata ahe. He says, Akasmat, unexpectedly, we also follow the same route, suit. In the sense, we also end up one day. And for this uncertainty, when it is going to happen, or for this certain thing called death, how much and all we do possess, is it really worthwhile? I know a lot of people, in the name of acquisition, greed, what all they do, as simple as, just you want to run a hotel, you get provision from some neighboring town and you don't pay him the cost. He keeps coming to you on and off, day in and out. He speaks to your wife. But we are so possessive, so greedful that we want to keep it. We don't want to give him his money. See, not only is all false promises. You enter into a joint venture and you call your partner and partners and he says, you are my son, everything is yours. You see today he invests crores and crores in the establishment and one fine day you kick him off. All these betrayals, my dear friends. Why? Greed. If that consciousness was of the same thing, saying that you are like my son, and if you change it, you are my son, okay, you keep it. Or you give it whenever it is possible. No, my dear friends, when we want, then we get all relationship. Once the purpose is done, we forget relationships. This is the mundane problem with everybody. And here he says, Akasmat tohi pude jata ahe. He says, suddenly, one day, even we are going to put an end to this materialistic world with unfulfilled heart. And he says, Purena janim lobha veshobhatya te. Purena janim lobha veshobhatya te. Says, advises this endless desire of the greed, it disturbs man again and again, but we don't learn from it, but we go in this vicious cycle of birth and death and birth and death because of the unfulfilled greed. And that is a wonderful quotation which I remember quite often. The, this planet has enough and ample for everyone's need. There's plenty, I tell you. But the whole cosmos falls short for one's greed. We have so much of greed in us that how much ever you are given, you're not happy, you're not satisfied. And this greed is the cause for mada, moha, and lobha. One becomes miserly only because of greed and because of not losing the possessions what he has. You see, in that example of that hotel, when you have taken the provisions from him worth X amount, what is wrong in paying him? You want to hold that also. You might give a number of explanations, my dear friends. I tell you, all businessmen comes out with one explanation saying that business didn't happen, I am in loss. But if you look at them, they are always moving in big cars which are like playgrounds. And each one will have a car in the family, but still they are bankrupt, they don't have any money with them. Sell off your car. They don't want to sell their property, they don't want to give out their possessions, they don't want to give their dignity, but they don't want to pay anything. Again, when it comes to wages, you know that every month you are supposed to make the payment. Why not have a protocol saying that the last working day of the month I'm going to release the wages as the central government does? Especially I'm speaking about these. Okay, multinationals, they are good, but these small companies, they loot. They are marrying on others' sweat and blood, I tell you. Okay, if not last week, the first day of the next month. Okay, the 5th of every month payment will be done. If 5th were to be a holiday, then 4th. Understand the logic. If 5th were to be a holiday, it should be 4th or 3rd, not 7th or 8th. I see people, they work for one full month and second month they work and they are paid only after 15th or 20th. Imagine. You might be having a number of reasons, my dear friends. You should have that rotation, you should have that cycle, you should have that planning. That this particular day I'm going to do this. Finish. Do that. Have that buffer. If not that financial planning, management. Here it's not only a question of failure and managing things, but it's a pure administrative skills. Very poor administrative skills. In other words, it is greed. You want to hold on to that money with you for some more time, where you can reap short-term interest benefits on that. 10 days into the short-term deposits, 10 days. If you want to gain that, you want to eat on that interest and hit on their stomach. Exploiter and exploited again, same. It's only the greed and your weakness. Weakness should not be squeezed like that. Mada, arrogance of success. All this because of fulfilled greed. Moha, falling in love with it and wanting more and more of it. In case if greed is not fulfilled, Mascharya, jealous on those who have that. Frustration for having not fulfilled the desire, sleepless nights. Anger, all these things are offshoots of this. So he says in last one, Mano nijane maghuta janmageti. Oh crazy one, if you are in this vicious cycle, your birth is a ruin, is waste. Rise from this grief and greed and live a fulfilling life. So, with this, we conclude today's year to catch up again tomorrow. Thanks.